It's time to go!
Hello again everyone, what doing? This is eDgEIN, bringing you some more action from the First Corps Commander Challenge, TG's in-house 1v1 tournament. This is a game from the European side of things. This is Winners Bracket Round 2. Featuring today, on the bottom right as the yellow Protoss, Esge. And I apologize to anyone whose name I might mispronounce. Just send me a PM if I do happen to mispronounce your name. I'll get it right in the next cast, I guarantee it. His opponent today, on the top left, from the Colossus squad, he is the squad leader, our very own Infuriated, as the Red Terran. Today we're going to be playing on IC Cup Fighting Spirit. This map has a little bridge leading to what are 3 possible base positions. Your main right here, your natural right here, and your third right here. Your third has a ramp which is easily accessible by your opponent, which makes 2 base play defined by a wall off right here. You'll see a lot of Terrans throwing down scans, observers kind of hanging around right here. We see Esge sending out a probe to scout, and here comes Infuriated's SCV to do the same. They're going to, it appears they are going to both be checking out the same expansion. They'll probably meet right about here and give themselves a little high five, as Danon would say. Here they come, here they come. Actually, that was pretty dead on there. Look at that. There's the worker high five as they both pass by to continue their scouting mission. Esge putting down his gateway and taking his first gas, it appears. Everybody droning up as per usual. The barracks almost completed for Infuriated now. We see his gas going down. This, as you know, is a best of 3, and this is game 1. We're going to see how this plays out with both of these players. I'm not quite sure, actually. Esge, I did manage to look up and find out that he is a Diamond League player. Infuriated seemed to be somewhat of a ghost. I couldn't find anything about how he ranks among his peers. We see Infuriated's SCV going to come down and scout this Cybernetics core coming down, as well as another pylon. Meanwhile, this probe, I didn't quite follow where that probe went, but he's going a little bit too far now. Coming back to check out what's going on in the Terran base, and as we know, because we're already here, we see a tech lab going down on the barracks, meaning we're probably going to see some stim coming out sometime soon. Cybernetics core almost completed, as well as another gateway coming down for Esge. Going to be trying to chase out this this SCV with that probe, warping out what, a zealot. That zealot going to be able to strike down that probe. There it goes, there it goes, there it goes, and that SCV has been destroyed. We see, oh, look at this, Infuriated quickly taking his natural. I'm not sure if that was scouted or if it's going to be, but that's quite the play there. I'm unfamiliar with European players' play styles. I only play on the North American server myself, but seeing a Terran taking his second base so early is just odd to me. Maybe that happens a lot in the European side of things, but it's not something I've seen too commonly. Down here we have warp gate research going on at the Cybernetics core, with another pylon coming down. We see a stalker here along with this zealot guarding this little base here. We have concussive shells being trained. Now this will slow the movement of zealots, allow the marauders to kite them pretty effectively. We see a bunker about to go down. There's going to be an SCV coming down at some point over here, probably the one that's going to complete this. Going to go directly to build this bunker. I actually really like this this bunker placement being a little bit outside of this small area right here. Some players will come this way, some players will come this way, so you can't really effectively wall off right here or put up any kind of defensive structures right here. You want to get it right dead in the middle, and that is what Infuriated is doing. What a baller. Up here we have a sentry along with 2... Oh, there's a scan. I was actually about to comment on these units right here, but we see a scan going down. This is Infuriated trying to get some kind of information on what is happening, but as we see, Esge gonna have none of that, building a pylon down here, and he's very likely going to be hiding something in this area. This is where players typically tend to hide units from scans. A lot of people will scan right around where you're building, try and get a good idea of what kind of units you're going for. He did notice the robotics facility, but if anything else is going to be happening down here, such as a Twilight Council, it's not quite going to be as easily spotted, and the Terran player, as we know, doesn't want to waste too much energy on scans to try and find that. There is a Marine here. He's going to be checking to see at what point Esge decides to expand. This expansion now for Infuriated is up and running with a bunch of SCVs here. We have a whole load more here, mining a whole lot of gas. And what's going on for the Terran player? We have an engineering bay going down, as well as another barracks and a couple supply depots. Stim almost finished. And we see down at the robotics facility there is an Immortal coming out. Immortals, I love those guys. If you haven't seen Day 9's impersonation of an Immortal, he did quite the impersonation the other day on his daily. I believe it was very recent. But yeah, check that out if you haven't. I'm sure, as Day 9 would also be sure of, there is probably some kind of animated GIF file out there. Here we have a probe pushing that Zealot out of the way, going to be putting up a Nexus, and this Marine is going to spot that, I believe. Yeah, absolutely spots that. And he's going to start trying to take it down, and he's going to bring the Wrath of Ire on him. That big group of Protoss units just destroyed that Marine. On a suicidal mission deep behind enemy lines, decides to kick the Hornet's nest, everybody. We see, oh, there's a missile turret coming down. He's going to be watching for this observer, which seems to have just made the rounds on this base, completely circling around that missile turret. I'm not exactly sure if Esge has seen it. Yeah, it appears that he has, but it's not going to do any kind of damage to the observer at all. This bunker completely unoccupied there for show, but that's alright. No one knows that except for Infuriated. Esge now has a probe out here. He's going to also be, I guess, just hanging around there, scouting for any kind of enemy movement that might be happening. As you know, this is IC Cup Fighting Spirit as the map, and if you will look in the mini-map on the bottom left, you will see there are no Xel'Naga watchtowers, so it's always good to keep some units out and about, looking around, prodding around, poking around, trying to find the enemy forces. This observer doing an excellent job of that, though, staying well away from this missile turret. Esge's expansion now up and running. These two assimilators going to go down and get some gas on the way. We have, we see another Zealot coming out, but we see, more importantly, Zealot legs the charge research going down. Templar archives too. I just spotted that down here by accident, and it's a good thing I'm not playing this game, because I would have no idea that there's very likely going to be some High Templar coming out at some point. More Mortals coming out for Esge. He's going to be sending more probes down here, warping in a couple of High Templar. This observer, again, still doing quite a good job of just sticking around where these units are, staying out of range of this missile turret. I say he's doing a good job, but really he hasn't done much except for sit right where he is. Both players now, I haven't really seen any kind of attack coming from either player. They both seem content to just build up an army and I guess eventually attack with it. We see some medevacs and psionic storm research coming out also for Esge. These medevacs are going to follow this big ball, probably do a drop of some sort, maybe just support the units, but a lot of times I've seen players split these medevacs off and send a couple with the main forces, but use one more to just make some kind of neat little sneak attack at the same time. They're going to lead the charge here, as Infuriated seems set to come in and take care of Esge. We'll see how this goes. They're about to cross the bridge here into Protoss territory. This probe going to get absolutely annihilated, but it seems like we are on the verge of a big battle. Let's see if it is decisive or not. On this side of things, we have some High Templar, some Sentries, a few Immortals, and mostly Zealots over here, mostly Marines, but actually, no, it's pretty evenly distributed between Marines and Marauders, and we're going to see in just a moment, I think, no, we're going to wait for some more reinforcements. We have a few more Marines, Marauders, and here comes the attack. Stim going down for the Terran. These Zealots seem to be getting destroyed, absolutely annihilated. The Marines and the Marauders are just tearing through all these Protoss units. The Medivacs healing them up. The Medivacs doing their job very well. This Stim again, and this looks like it might be all for Esge. Another Storm going down from the High Templar, but I'm not sure at all if this is going to pan out for Esge, our Protoss player. The Probe's even getting into it. The Probe's even coming in and trying to deal with the Marines Marauders. Another Immortal coming in now, but it looks very, very bad for our Protoss friend Esge. And oh, look, we've got actually a drop happening down here, going to be taking out a few of these big tech structures if they can. These Marines and Marauders up here are going to be clearing out what's left of this base. We don't have too much more action over here. These probes are getting into the fight, but it doesn't look like they're going to do all that much at all. The Marines and Marauders just ripping through all of those probes. These guys, meanwhile, have finished their job of cleaning out the expansion. They're going to probably make a push in here unless there's some kind of show of resistance from Esge, but there doesn't seem to be. Here they come into the main. These Medivacs doing their job, healing them up quite well. We've got these Zealots and Sentries now coming in, but no, there's more reinforcements here too for Infuriated. It's not looking very good at all for Esge. These guys are just going to tear through these Protoss buildings, and there's the GG. Esge loses game 1 of the best of 3 versus Infuriated. That was an excellent game. We'll see you in just a moment for game number 2.